Good day, folks, and welcome to review number 36. I'm at TFCon right now, so what better opportunity than to do a Transformers review. Today we're going to take a look at Transformers Generations Fall of Cybertron Jazz. Starting off looking at the packaging again, we see that Jazz comes packaged with the oversized Generations style card with the large artwork of Jazz up in the top. There's also kind of the throwback grid pattern that's kind of nostalgic towards G1. The figure comes packaged in robot mode. The back of the card, of course, comes with photos of the figure in robot and vehicle mode. There is also, again, this grid pattern that's kind of a throwback to G1. There's the short bio paragraph over here and the new old style tech specs across the bottom. So here we have Jazz himself, and just right off the bat, just looking at him, he seems a little odd. The proportions don't quite seem right. His legs seem a little too small for this big upper body that he's got. His head's kind of sunken into this cavity here. And then the other thing, if you look at his legs, he has a wheel here, and a wheel here. Yeah, they put false wheels in his feet because they couldn't, I guess they couldn't find the way to actually transform him so that his real wheels became his feet. So they faked it, and now he's got suddenly 6 wheels when he's in robot mode. As for articulation itself, it's not too bad. You've got ball jointed shoulders, bicep swivel. I'll get to these elbows in a minute. Ball jointed wrists, ball jointed hips, knees. There's no ankle articulation, and there is no waist articulation. As I said, I was coming back to these elbows. The elbows are actually a kind of, not really a ratchet joint, more just like a clicky joint. Where there's, I believe, a little plastic tab in there, and then little cogs on the elbow joint here, which I suppose can help stabilize a larger weapon, but I really don't know why they did this. They also did this with the knees as well. To me, it's just kind of unnecessary because since they're not true ratchet joints, those little cogs will eventually wear off, and there's going to be little or no support at all unless you can find a way to somehow just tighten the friction on the joint. But I think just a regular elbow joint would have been sufficient here. So let's check out Jazz's transformation. Compared to the transformation of Fall of Cybertron Optimus, this figure is a complete reversal. Where Optimus was almost too simple for its own good, Jazz has a much more intricate process for his transformation. In fact, it's almost too intricate. Because of the way the upper portion of the car folds out, you need to have fairly precise tolerances in order for all of the parts to line up. Unfortunately, for a figure at this price point, those tolerances may not always be met. My figure in particular has a problem where the panel that folds the head down stops a couple degrees shy of being flush with the roof. This ends up throwing the entire upper portion of the car slightly out of alignment and makes it difficult to get all of the necessary tabs lined up for the vehicle mode. Having talked to others with the figure, this does not seem to be an uncommon problem. While Jazz's transformation is better than Prime's, the frustration with the misalignment makes it almost as unenjoyable. So here we have Jazz in his vehicle mode. And I have to say that I am not too impressed. First, to start off, I do have a QC issue. It may be a bit of a design flaw similar to RID Bumblebee's head, where his head won't go down all the way, but this tab right here where Jazz's head folds down will not completely seat right, and as a result kind of throws off the alignment of the whole roof panel here, and makes it very it's already finicky to begin with, but it makes it that much harder to try to get all that to line up. But as for the vehicle in general, there are just a lot of gaps. In fact, you can actually look down and see right through the toy in several places. Just nothing seems to fit right on the figure. You've got this big open end on the back of it with his hands just sitting there. I mean, there's places where, like, you know, around the front where it looks like it's designed to have these gaps and these open panels, but I just really don't care for the look of it. I mean, you've got these, they try to hide it, but these big hinges sticking out on this sleek vehicle mode, it just doesn't quite work. I'd had high hopes for Jazz, as I have a bit of a soft spot for him since he was one of my first G1 toys. Unfortunately, I think I prefer the G1 mold to this one. The design of the figure leaves something to be desired, but the execution is what really kills it. Now, there are many people out there that don't have the roof panel problems and really like this figure. Unfortunately for me, though, Jazz represents Strike 2 in the Fall of Cybertron line.